Ladies and gentlemen, live from Hollywood at the Improv Studios, it's the Nighttime Show! Tonight, we have our head writer, Matt Walker. I'm the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black. And we have very special guests from Sons of Anarchy, 30 Days of Night, Batman Begins, Mark Boone Jr., and from Angel, The Expendables, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charisma Carpenter. See them both in the new movie Street Level. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man who loves donuts so much he almost named himself Crispy, Stephen Kramer Glickman.
Thanks, pal. Everybody, Mike Black. This is our announcer, Mike Black. Who?
Do you need to take a breather after that, Mike?
You doing okay?
I'll be all right.
You got
After a good 4 days of rest. And I'll be
sometimes on this show we get people that we kind of freak out about a little bit, and we're trying not to freak out with you guys. We're trying. No, it's about both of you guys because we're both we're big fans of both of you guys. But it was like we actually tried to get you guys to come separately because we were panicking about having two amazing actors on the same show at the same time, because we're like, what do we talk about first? Like we were kind of freaking out a little bit. But it is an honor to have both of you, Charisma Carpenter and Mark Boone Jr. We're big fans of both you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. I'm gonna talk like a morning radio guy the whole time.
Okay, hello.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad to be here. Hi, what's your name again?
I forgot.
Right. Aren't we together in that movie we did?
Are you guys a couple in the movie?
Yeah.
We are.
Oh my god!
Wow.
So
I didn't
hot.
know that.
Oh, this is
boy.
nice.
What is how much of a thank you gift did you give to your agent for that one?
I thanked him plenty.
We were talking to him.
We're good.
No, that's really incredible. How did you guys get involved in this movie? How did this come about?
Okay, David LaBrava, who played Happy on the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, well, that he wrote, produced, directed.
Starred.
He starred. He did everything. I mean, everything.
He literally did everything. He did all the parts even.
Yes, he did.
Stand-ins.
Do it like this. Okay.
Craft services, all of it.
All right. Don't open your mouth again, Boone. Just I'll do it.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that he did do everything, and then he also called on every single person in his life to make this movie happen.
Wow.
And everybody showed up for him, which is very rare, because there's people that talk about, I'm writing this movie and I've got this project and I'm going to do this. I'm gonna. And then there's the people that do. And that's David. And he's very passionate. He's so passionate. And here we are.
When did you guys read the script for this?
Oh, I read the script
19
many
times.
years ago.
Was he talking to you about it on Sons of Anarchy? Did he tell you that he wanted to write a project?
I don't know exactly what I should say about my relationship with David LaBrava.
Why? Is it scandalous?
No, I mean, DL came onto the set of Sons of Anarchy, and he was gonna just be, I don't know what he was gonna be. He was
a biker consultant.
Yes, he was a biker consultant, and he walked around the first day with his knife stuck in his belt, with his hand on the knife the whole time, like, I'm gonna kill anybody who says anything crazy to me.
Holy shit!
And a lot of people were legitimately afraid. And I was just like, this dude, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I was just like, this dude's not going to do this to our set.
Yeah.
And so I immediately went right after him, and he was like, oh, what's he doing? Oh my God. He's like, what? Okay, well, what should I do now?
Did you just kind of push him, kind of push his buttons a little bit and kind of get in?
I did,
into his
and
head?
everybody in the room was going like, "Oh shit! No, don't do that! Don't do that!" I was like, "No, this guy is not going to come onto our set and do that." And so then it was just a learning curve because, about and he was great on the show and everything like that. And eventually, And it was like, and we hung out after we had a DL, which is what I call him, or D, and Charlie and Tommy and I mostly hung out a lot after every night of work, just to smooth
Decompress.
Yeah.
out, you know.
You just got to smooth the edges out with
and
him.
that was like DL. You know, I don't know
Does
how
DL
many
decompress?
times. No, I mean, you have to
He's a
shut
real-
up, DL. Shut up. Shut up.
Super
Shut
high
up.
energy.
Shut up. Like that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and then he's like, okay. Okay.
He does respect Boone a lot.
Yeah.
And when he came to set, you know, I'm sure I'm projecting now, but I can imagine visually that encounter that you had with him, because he is very intense. He's an intense
How did
person.
you come to work with him? Like, did you know him ahead of time?
I didn't. Not.
I don't know how we got you involved. There was some.
I
but
was
he
at the
just called
season
you.
6.
Oh, right. You were in Sons,
Katie-
right?
Well, yes,
For
but not yet.
Yeah.
When I met David, or DL, it was at the season 6 premiere party, which was kind of this huge event. And Katie, who is Kurt's assistant, had called me and said, you know,
Not Katie Seagal. Katie.
No,
I don't
his
remember Katie's
assistant.
name. Yeah.
I
No
don't know how you
longer.
pronounce it, but it's Lucie, Lucy or Luce or something fancy. I don't know.
That's her last name? Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's adorable. She's sweet and she's lovely. And hi.
I don't think she's his assistant any longer, but
No,
is she?
no.
No, I don't think
But at the time, and I'm friendly with her. But at the time, she called me, and I had been and I was going to be on Sons of Anarchy afterward, because I was just such an advocate for the show, and I was very verbal about it, or you would say digital about it on my social media, because I loved, and I remember the first time I met. Oh gosh. Excuse me.
Phone's off.
She's being digital right now.
I know, CNN
She's a real
update
pro.
about- CNN updates. Jesus.
I know. We're in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I know. It's
We are
the
on
apocalypse
the
right
verge
now. It's
of the
presidential
apocalypse.
election night, and I'm very distracted. I apologize. It's technically, it's my son's soccer club update. Super embarrassed.
Well, I hope he's winning at least.
Yes.
It's a practice. But when I met Boone, do you remember when I met you? And I called you by your character name, and you were so cantankerous and rude. I was so upset. And then when DL told me about the movie, and like, I would like you to be a part of it, and da 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 da.
Closer to the mic, babe.
And da 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 da.
There you go.
I said, who do you want me to make out with? Who am I supposed to be with? He's so mean to me.
I like it. I like it. Boone,
I like when you're mean to me.
There's women like bad boys. They're there.
Oh, Boone. There you
Boone,
go.
like Boone, like I've only just met you, but holy shit, dude! If you ever get a chance, if you know, fans that are out there, if you ever get a chance to meet this gentleman, I'll tell you what, intimidating. And you can tell.
Not.
No, you have a very intimidating presence,
Males.
and you can tell why you've worked for so long
I see right
playing
through it.
these. You've played
I
a lot
don't
of
play bad
No,
guys.
you play a lot of detectives. You play a lot of tough, tough guys. Have you ever played anybody? No,
He was interrogated by Batman and lived through it.
Fuck yes, dude, that's amazing. No, but only
So amazing.
like we've had a lot of actors and a lot of interesting people come on the show, and the only other person that we've ever had on here who I was kind of like, oh man, this guy. You could like I feel like could kick someone's ass like right off the fucking building was Keith David was the only
Yeah.
other person we've
Who's
ever had
that?
in here.
Keith David.
Who's got
Keith David?
He's got this well, and
I'm embarrassed to
He's
ask,
got a
but-
very low voice.
Yes.
It's big, and he uses it
Do you know?
all the time.
well, I had eaten some of
I know Keith.
Mike Black's.
He's a very
He's a very
sweet-
nice guy,
sweet
very
cat.
sweet guy.
Yeah.
But I had eaten some of Mike Black's French fries right before the show, and he was like, "You never mess with another man's French fries." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, yes, sir, absolutely. That's amazing. Let's
Yeah, I was intimidated too. You're kind
By
of,
Keith.
by you.
Oh,
When you started working on
not anymore.
when you
He's like, I'll fix that.
when you started working on
No.
on Sons of Anarchy, did you already ride a motorcycle at that point, or how did that come about?
Oh, come on, man!
riding-
All
you
this
riding
stuff
the whole
is
time?
out there for 100 years.
No, I know,
Yes,
but-
I rode motorcycles when I was young,
Yeah.
and then I stopped because, well, for one, I moved to New York City. You can't have back then. The roads were impassable.
Yeah.
I mean, this is in the 70s and 80s. There was no money being put into the roads. You couldn't. Where do you park a bike? I mean, my battery got stolen out of my car like 25 times, and that was with a chain on the thing. And New York was rough back then, really rough. And a motorcycle in New York there were no motorcycles in
no
New
way.
York.
That's
At that time, and there still aren't that many motorcycles. I mean, the Hells Angels, yes, they had their club on Third Street, and I never saw them ride their bikes.
Is that?
Let's put it that way.
Matt, real quick before we continue, I had a weird thing recently. I had another fireball moment.
A fireball moment?
Yeah, like a fireball moment. That's like when you drink fireball whiskey and then just, something amazing and extraordinary happens. Like 'cause when you drink fireball whiskey, you never know what's gonna
crazy
happen.
stuff happens.
Crazy
Right.
stuff happens. Yeah, no, it's true. So, we were doing the nighttime show live and having this, great time, and everybody was having fun. And as the night was coming to an end here at the, Hollywood Improv, I did 2 shots, at the bar. Really great stuff. And of Fireball, and then I started wandering to my car, but somehow I got lost on Melrose. I turned down a corner, I turned another corner, I turned a different way, and I ended up in this forest, which I guess now is a park that's nearby, but it was a much bigger park than I've ever seen before. So now I'm wandering through this park at like 2:00 in the morning. It's very, very dark, and I can see the trees, and you can hear, everything buzzing. And I swear to you, out of nowhere, I see Bigfoot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot. He comes.
Did he look like Harry and the Hendersons?
He was
Bigfoot?
just like that.
Wow.
Like very kind of ape-like, but very, very tall, really huge muscles and gigantic. And he comes around the corner, and I froze. I was very scared. All right.
Yeah, I think if you see Bigfoot, you got to stop.
Oh yeah. I stopped. I got real scared, and I look over, and I go, oh my gosh. I go, Bigfoot. Are you Bigfoot?
Yes. Bigfoot.
That's what he said.
Yeti Bigfoot.
I said, "Oh wow, hey there, Bigfoot. It's a pleasure to meet you."
Pleasure to meet you. No pictures.
Oh,
I don't. Everyone wants a selfie. I don't have time. I can't. They put on the Instagram the whole thing, and they always the wrong filter.
Do they
I
face
can't
swap
have
with
it.
you?
Always. I can't go.
They do. They face swapped with him.
I can't go 5 minutes without the face swap. I don't like it.
And you don't even think you wouldn't even think the app would be able to recognize the face because it's so
Right, and
enormous
the
and
kids,
different.
They have no class. They just take the picture. They don't. Hi, how are you? My name's Marty. What have you? Nothing. They just
take a picture.
Start flashing.
They take
right
a picture
away.
right away. It's so rude.
Oh, the photo bomb. Don't get me started on the photo bomb.
It's too much. Sometimes they do fingers over your head. They do
Sure.
bunny ears.
I'm trying to eat a unicorn, and halfway through, these kids come up and they get behind me with the thing, and we're gonna hashtag. I can't have it.
So basically, Matt. I was very hungry, and so I turned to Bigfoot and I said, "Hey, Bigfoot, do you want to maybe go to Cantor's?"
I would love to go to Cantor's.
Yeah, it turns out Bigfoot is like a huge fan of Cantor's.
Of course.
Yeah, he said his favorite kind of fish is gefilte
fish.
Gefilte fish. Yeah, so we go there. We have some gefilte fish. We have a nice matzo ball soup.
A nice soup.
I had one more shot of Fireball whiskey, and out of nowhere, I'm not kidding you, he vanished. Wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, Fireball whiskey, you never know what kind of adventures you're going to have. All right, let's get back to the show.
I don't pay the check.
Is that where you grew up? Did you grow up in New York?
No,
where'd
I
you grow
moved
up?
to New York. I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yes,
When did you move to New York?
the part of the country that's giving our country away to Donald Trump at this moment.
God, what a nightmare.
When did I moved to Vermont, and then I moved to New York, and I lived in New York for quite a while.
Did you start acting?
Yes, I started.
What age did you start acting? At?
28 about is when
Really?
I started acting, yeah. And I started working with a guy named Tom Wright. And then Steve Buscemi and I were partners for about 8 years. We did a lot of theater together.
What were some of the shows you guys did?
We wrote all the shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that was what we did.
Where were you guys doing that? Was that
Downtown, all downtown. Yeah.
Are any of them like available to see anywhere?
No, videotapes, they didn't,
Yeah.
we had some of our shows taped and we never made any copies. And at one point, some Japanese magazine wanted to do a thing about us. So we took the tapes over to them. They had an office on Broadway and they never gave them back.
Oh, man.
So that's where all the tapes.
So they might still be there for the.
No, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I mean, so that was. But we did a lot of very dark humor.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That sounds like a trip to see
The last play
two
that
of
we
you
did
on stage.
took place in a morgue.
And you wrote these.
wow.
You guys wrote these plays yourselves,
Yeah.
the two of you.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing, man. Did you ever do any
we
other?
had a band called the Pawns of Love and stuff like that.
Very cool. Now, you were a guest star in a lot of shows that are sort of iconic. You did The Wonder Years, you did Seinfeld, you did, let's see, was it
That's
History
it.
Blues?
That's all I did. No, I didn't. I really didn't do a lot of TV guest stars because it used to be when you were a guest star on a television show and you looked like me or acted like me, all you did was come in. There were all the same 3 scenes every time. Like you get arrested, right? Then you get taken in one time, and they go, "So do you know Bob Levine?" No, I don't know Bob Levine. And then another 15 minutes later, they go and do a lot of stuff, and it's revealed that I knew Bob Levine, and they come back and they go, all right, I know Bob Levine.
Oh, you were typecasted.
That's every single.
That's how it was.
Every crime
How
show.
every
Every crime show,
actor is.
So
We're
I
all
just
typecasted.
didn't do that.
Yeah. So you just said no.
Was Quantum Leap the same way? Was Bob
Quantum
Levine-
Leap, I played a biker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew
By
Bob
the
Levine?
way,
Did you
From
know
the
Bob
50s.
Levine at that time?
I knew Bob Levine.
Charisma, how did you
he
get?
drove his motorcycle here, by the way.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
He's so hot.
How did how did you get started? Where'd you grow up?
It had nothing to do
It's
with
2
Hollywood.
questions.
Oh well,
It
where
is.
did you
It's
grow up? Where'd you grow up?
I had a nomadic childhood, so a lot of places.
Okay.
That's probably
So
the
my-
best answer to that question.
She
I've ever
is
heard.
so uncomfortable with that question.
Am I?
I don't know. It looks like it. No,
It's
okay.
just hard to answer because I don't have one. I suppose I could. Vegas till I was 15.
Why was it like a nomadic childhood? Did you have family that was moving around a lot? Like, I mean,
yeah.
like military family?
Not
or other
military.
She ran
We
away
were on the
a lot.
run from Bob.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Bob Levine.
They were literally nomads.
I was a gypsy. What can I tell you?
How did you get started in acting? How did this get
I was
started?
always involved in the arts, and I grew up dancing. Primarily, I was a ballerina, and that was my kind of forte into performance or public performance. And then, acting kind of happened way later. I was going to be an English teacher, I thought, when I was younger. I was hosting at Mirabelle Restaurant on Sunset, and I met some influencers, would be the buzzword of today's use.
Sure.
And they suggested I get a commercial agent because they felt like, well, you could earn more money than hostessing. And
Dancing.
get I was a classical ballerina.
I know. That's
Let's
what I
just get
thought.
it straight.
That's what I call them too.
But you know what? That's kind of hot. You know, I wouldn't mind if right now taking some lessons on that. Work.
You just lit up the internet just now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with being a dancer if that's your choice. Good for you.
Now, your first IMDb credit is the biggest show in the world at the time. It was Baywatch.
Yeah.
Actually, should that be my Throwback Thursday
Yeah.
this week?
Yeah.
Totally.
I just was going through, ironically, I have a picture of myself and David.
What?
The Hoff?
Yeah, do you want to see it?
Yes,
we want to see a
please.
picture of you in the Hoff.
Yeah, well, the
For those
rest
of you who
the
can't
rest of you will see it on
Steven's jaw
Thursday.
just dropped almost to the floor when he heard that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
kind
the
of
third
like,
word you've spoken thus far. If you can call that a word.
Right.
what's the word?
I believe was the word.
I'm digging. Here we go. You ready?
Mhm.
Me and the Hoff
Oh my God! Look at that.
from
That's
Baywatch.
amazing.
Oh, we got to get that. You got to
And
get
look
that
how
picture out
healthy
on the
he
web.
looks. He looks so, you know.
Wow.
And he was in
Yeah.
a convertible Mercedes when like they didn't do that then.
Was that your first acting job?
It was not. I actually have one of those pictures too.
Really?
My
What was your first?
Under the robe? That's what.
a bikini,
Oh,
Oh,
a bikini because it was
you
Baywatch.
just came out of his trailer.
Were you-
Bye, David.
You know what,
See
Boone? You're supposed to be on my side.
I am.
That was
Stories here.
that's not a good fucking story.
Wow.
That's a tragedy.
It's a
Come on, what do you
tragedy.
mean? Would you?
See,
Would you
come
hook
out
up
of
with?
David's?
Yeah, like
We did hook up. I don't know.
You know what?
The Sons of Anarchy,
all of a
but
sudden it
He
just
was
got
a
very
night rider.
sexist. Would you blow David Hoffman?
David Hasselhoff?
Hasselhoff. whatever
You'd
the
have a
fuck
much
his name
bigger
be
is.
career
on
in Germany if
Baywatch?
you did.
Absolutely.
The biggest
I
star
would've.
ever then.
Absolutely.
You'd have a huge career in Germany if you did.
he still talks about himself in the plural.
Yeah.
Does he? Re-
Oh yeah, he does. We went to Germany last week.
Not the third person, but plural. That's next level narcissism.
That's even
That's
worse.
rad.
That's amazing.
David
That's-
Hasselhoff likes you.
What's his name? Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
both Hasselhoffs.
Don't hassle the
I'm
Hoff.
kidding.
What was your first TV job?
TV job was Baywatch, I
Baywatch?
believe.
But first acting job?
My first acting job was a video vixen in the grunge era.
Oh.
Area.
Oh, in a music video?
area.
I said area. Era.
So in Detroit,
Era. No.
What
Seattle.
music?
Out of
What
grunge
music?
area.
Do you remember what it was? Band?
It was Good for Bad was the name of the band, I believe. They never made it. And that was my first acting job.
What?
And I was super
Dancing,
proud.
Right?
Fuck you.
Damn it, Boone.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Ballerinaing.
ballerinaing.
That's what he meant.
Boone, what was your first TV job?
That question really bummed him out. Why'd you do that?
It was in New York. It was that thing. It was a thing, but I don't remember the name of it. I really don't.
Happy
Let's
now,
have an
Steven?
update.
No, there were only a couple of shows being shot back then. It was with the Australian dude,
Paul
the
Hogan.
Enforcer, or the
The Equalizer.
Equalizer.
I don't know his name.
I believe that was my first
Yeah,
television
1985.
job.
There's a couple things that are listed before that on your IMDb.
Yeah, I did movies before that.
But yeah, they were films, it looks
The
like. Yeah.
the first movie I did was in Cahiers de Cinema, the French magazine that was like the classiest magazine in the world.
Wow.
A movie magazine in the world at that time. Started by Godard and all those folks over there.
Oh my God.
But it was was a movie that Leonardo Katz, who's an Argentinian who was living in New York at the time. It was all stills. The whole movie was shot in stills.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy movie. So that's why I got into Cahiers de Cinema.
That's
I just love the way that
What was that movie
style
called?
was.
I don't know, Heart of Gold or something like that.
one of
It was based on
I mean, you're sitting there with the IMDb list. Help him out.
Or something.
Well, the
it's
first one
probably
listed
not
is,
on there.
is Anybody's Woman, a short from 1981, and the next thing is Variety,
Anybody's Woman.
and then Born in Flames, and The Way It Is, and then Filmhouse Fever.
Yeah.
IMDb.
and then it gets
No, that's all of that is correct.
Yeah.
Except I don't know.
it's like
what
who,
any
there's
of
like-
these
Born in
woman
Flames
is.
is a cool title.
it says it's a short.
Born
from
in Flames.
1981.
Yeah, that was it was a woman who was named after the strangler, the woman who killed a lot of men. She took that name. It's on there, I'm sure.
Well, one of your early credits that I'm a big fan of is New York Stories, and you got to work with Woody Allen on that.
No, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, but Woody was
It was that's three.
three separate things. Oh, so you did
Woody Allen.
you did Martin Scorsese.
Oh yeah, I sure did.
Holy shit! Was that? Is there anyone who you've worked with that was very intimidating?
We didn't
Me.
really get. We didn't.
He's
really
intimidated
get along
by
too well,
me.
Martin.
Really?
It's a long story, so I won't really tell it.
Really?
Is it an interesting one?
Duh.
We're like trying to coax it out of him.
Come on, come on.
No.
Not everybody
I've
has
never-
a Martin
I've
Scorsese
never
story.
publicly told that story. So
All the more reason. This is the time.
Well, that's all right. You don't have to.
No.
Cool. We don't.
Hey,
I don't
look,
want to hear
maybe
about Martin
Howard
Scorsese
Stern will
anyway.
hear that.
about Marty, anyways. Forget it. Forget him. All right. Well,
He just kind of told the story in a silent way. Just
In gestures.
Charisma.
I have no Marty Scorsese stories.
Yeah, but you do.
I do have a Leo story.
Can you tell us
No.
your Leo?
Do you have a Ben Savage story from doing Boy Meets World?
I wish I did.
Leo DiCaprio story? You do? You have a Leo?
I mean, not really. He wasn't super famous then. I have actually a couple. He was on the set of Gilbert Grape, and David Gadolin was one of the producers at the time. He'd lost his high, which he was very, very upset about on the beach in Malibu at Arnon Melchon's house.
Oh my God.
And he had given up hope that he would find it. And I said, I will find it for you. And I did find it for him
Whoa!
in the sand because I'm really good at that.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Charisma,
Special
that's-
power.
I do. It's called tenacity. And so I found it and I returned it to him. And he, as thanks, sent me a bottle of champagne, a high of my own, and an invitation to the set of What's Eating Gilbert Grape with Juliette Lewis and Johnny Depp and Leo DiCaprio, where they were doing reshoots in Malibu. So he invited me to come up and I went and I picked blades of grass and sucked the milk from the root and shot the shit with Leo, and Johnny Depp made fun of my beauty mark on my knee and mole. Let's just call it what it is. It was a mole, and it was just like a really cool experience.
Wow, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah, another time was at the House of Blues back in the day when the House of Blues was like all about music venues and serious music, and Leo was there, and I had dreads. I thought that was a good idea. I was experimental at the
It was
time.
the '90s.
No, I just thought, for the night.
Sure.
I would have dreads, and he asked me why my hair was so messy.
Shit.
Like, it's messy on purpose. You don't
I
like
spent
it?
4 months with Leo on the.
Fuck you, Boone.
Well, I
Story topper.
just did on the Quick and the
Quick and the
Dead.
Dead. Great movie.
Oh yeah, with Sharon Stone. Wow.
It was Sharon and Leo, and we got to be,
Close.
we were a long time out there in Tucson. And Leo was supposed to do a love scene, his first love scene, I believe, with Sharon and with this other, I can't remember her name, but this other woman in the movie. And it was like 2 months in or something like that, and he popped his first whisker,
Wow.
like the first facial hair he ever had. One
One
whisker. So I started calling him One Whisker. Shit. And I was relentless. And
No.
so one day, I was relentless.
Oh yeah.
And,
Shocking.
I played a guy with one eye. Played a guy
Again?
with scars. And did I do that?
Sons of Anarchy at the end. I watched the show.
That's true.
Okay,
I had
go on.
never thought about that, and so we had a lot of fun. But I was relentless about the one Oscar, and it was coming up to the time that he was. Should I shave it? Should I shave it? Should I shave it?
Pluck it. And would you advise?
And I just kept on him and on him and on him, and he came up finally. He came. He just appeared. It was like 5 steps up to my trailer. I don't know why, but all of this they were high or something, and he came up to my trailer in the middle of the day. I was taking a nap or something, and he's like, "Boone, get out here! Get out here! We're doing it! We're going at it! I'm gonna kill you, man!" Because he was so frustrated from me calling him one whisker. And I just opened an eye like, "Leo, please, come on, man. Go take a pill." But that was
Holy shit.
I mean, I could go on about a lot of stuff.
I like that someone
He
woke
was
you up to
sweet.
fight you.
Yeah. Like, wake up, fight me.
That's his only chance.
And,
you got to
you
get
know.
him when he's half asleep.
That's what I would have
That's
done. I
the
would
move.
have like snuck in and then beat him up
he's
while he's
not-
asleep.
He was
Lacking in the
19.
brains department.
He had just come from that.
What's
from
Eating Gilbert?
Grape.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was really young because I remember at the time when he's on What's Eating Gilbert Grape and we were picking grass and sitting, talking between scenes and Juliette Lewis was up. He was talking about, oh gosh, should I change agencies? They've been so good to me. And then CAA wanted me.
He got an Oscar nomination for that.
But it was before. We were
Before
doing
that.
reshoots, It was before all of that.
He got the
Hoopla.
Oscar nomination when we were doing the
Your
Sons
movie.
of Anarchy, and he
What?
before
Quick and
that
the
was always in the group van, and it was like a 40-minute or more ride out to the set.
Oh, okay.
And
for
everybody
Quick and
wanted to kill him anyway. He's very high energy back
He
then.
talks.
He was
Yeah,
very,
he's
very high
chatty.
energy. And so when he got the Oscar nomination, he's like, "I get my own van," and every.
Now, what was Gene Hackman like on that movie?
I
Gene
loved
Hackman was
him.
it's like he's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the fastest draw. I mean, for
Yeah.
real.
Oh,
on the thing, by far the fastest draw. And we had the fast draw champion, Thel Reed. Is the quick draw was back then. I think Thel's like 80 now. I think he probably still is he who doubled Audie Murphy.
Oh, wow.
Thel Reed.
Yeah.
And was the coolest gun guy in the world. Wow. And Thel,
Challenged him.
knew what was going on with that. And Gene Hackman was the fastest draw. He wasn't there to make any new friends. That's all. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
you
It just
know.
seems like he was.
But he was cool.
He was almost
shit.
born to be in westerns. Like you look at him, his work in that, his work in Unforgiven is amazing.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like he's perfect for that style of acting. Like if you want that, he was the best there ever was.
Well,
He was great in
can you
everything.
name a movie that Gene Hackman was not
Wasn't-
good in?
I cannot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I grew up watching him.
And he did a lot of variation.
And Quick and the Dead was kind of in the height of Sharon Stone's which she was like crushing it because it was right
Sharon
near,
was so
Just after
great.
Basic
she could
Instinct.
right,
Sharon
right
is-
after, yeah, she could
Sharon's
do no wrong
awesome.
at that point.
I mean, really, she is an awesome.
She's so hot.
She's
Do
still
you remember your first
She's
meeting
still
with her?
hot.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Sharon.
And what happened?
She came in. We were all like it was the first reading of the movie, and she came in and she walked around the table, and I swear to God, I was like, just my mouth was hanging open.
Okay, but why? Like for you,
Because
like
there's
because you talked
something
about Martha
about-
earlier, having sex
yeah,
appeal.
that's right. And she's one of those women. There's something I don't know. There was something like so. Like a glow, the skin, the way she moved, everything. And she is the coolest thing about Sharon is that she's funny, very, very, very.
I'm not
I've heard that.
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
not
heard
surprised.
she's
She's a quick
hilarious.
wit.
She's made me piss laughing. I'm not kidding. In my, I'm rolling on the floor laughing. That's
And just
how funny
for people
she is.
listening, Curzon brought up that we were talking about Martha Stewart earlier. This before we started taping the show,
Oh,
and
right,
Boone was saying that Martha Stewart is actually one of the sexiest women he's ever seen.
Met.
Never met. Yeah.
Okay.
I went up during a bar in New York City, and I was just like, oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's got something. Yeah.
She was with wasn't
Martha has something or Sharon? I missed that.
I think Martha has something, but I mean, I watched 2 of
In
her
the
cooking
sex
shows.
appeal department?
I'm a
shocked.
fan.
Keep in mind, Matt bakes a lot.
I do bake. I watch Martha Bakes.
And by the
and
way,
Martha
your
Stewart's
brownies
cooking
were
school.
amazing.
Thank you.
So good.
I'm
That
pretty-
macadamia nut was
Walnut.
next. It was.
There's
You can-
walnuts, chocolate chips, and white chocolate chips in there.
Okay. Well,
our producer,
whatever. Your nuts were
friend,
great.
Thank you.
you might,
Is it over? Are we done?
Will you
Okay,
will you check online real quick and just see? I'm pretty sure Martha Stewart dated Anthony Hopkins during Silence
All
of
right,
the
I will
Lambs.
Google this. I'll find out.
You check?
During Silence
Yeah.
of
Do
the
we know
As
who
far
the
as I-
president of the
she was
United
doing that
States
part.
is
She
yet?
was with him during Silence of the Lambs.
Come on.
This is. I mean, you can double check it for me, but I'm 90% sure. And
Please
then
check on that.
I seriously
have to
doubt
know
it. He's
that.
You're
been married
making
for
that up.
100
You
check it out,
years.
dreamed
check it out.
that.
Check it
He's
out.
been married for 100 years, and that's got to be
And
rumored.
she was
He's an
married-
integrous man. That
I mean,
he
that's
would
a
not do
long
that.
time ago.
Yes,
Okay,
but
there is
he-
a website that says, "Did you know Martha Stewart dated Anthony Hopkins?"
Okay, during-
why they broke up is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
All right. This is the story because this is a long time ago.
Talk to me.
They were dating during while he was filming the movie, and when the movie came out, he brought her to the like a screening of it.
Right.
She saw the screening and was like, "I can never
be
with you ever again. This is the most you're terrifying. You're a very
Right.
I just watch you eat a guy's face. I can't. This is over." And
Wow.
she dropped him like a sack of potatoes. And I believe she got and then he met his wife.
Stephen, amazingly, your
something.
girlfriend didn't drop you after seeing Storks.
Oh, thanks. Thanks,
She's
pal.
like, "You played a moron pigeon. I can't date."
I've only been in one.
Got to see
I've
that.
only been
Were you in a
one-
costume?
No, I was in
No.
an animated movie that just came out.
Oh, well, come on, man.
Yeah. What's the what when it comes to typecasting? Do you guys ever have you dealt with it as a thing where you kind of do you ever feel like it's a hindrance on your careers, or do you ever, or do you feel like it's like a blessing? Because I'll tell you what, when it comes for me, I'm like I've had a really weird career, like where I've gotten to do a bunch of weird stuff, and nothing's been very consistent.
Weird. Define
like,
weird.
like fun, like I did
Storks animated.
I did like an animated movie, and then I did a kids TV show for 5 years. You know, like none of those are, but a lot
So
of
weird.
a lot of young
Who were the
stuff.
producers who allowed that?
I'm telling you,
You and kids.
mean,
Whoa.
me and a
Really?
bunch of freaking.
He yelled at
little
kids a lot on the show.
I yelled at kids on the show. I was like the
Nice.
angry yelling guy. But it's like I almost have gotten typecast in a weird way as like a bad guy that's like a clowny bad guy. Like I'm not. No one's taking me seriously as a bad guy, but they keep putting me in the role as like the villain of these children's movies and children's TV shows. But I mean, you guys have both been on, enormous amount of television and movies and stuff. Like, how do you deal with it?
No, I really haven't been on that much television. Again,
No, mostly movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, mostly.
But-
Yeah.
You haven't
except the 7
experienced-
years that I
mean-
did.
Wait, but earlier you were talking about typecasting. You were speaking about. I like how my voice sounds when I speak into the
Charisma, it
microphone.
sounds
He's trying
terrific.
to-
It's
So
really
well.
nice.
We like it too. It's
So, Boone,
Yes, dancer,
ballerina dancer to you.
ballerini.
What ups?
Was I typecast?
Were you
Yes.
typecast or typecast?
as a sexual predator?
Ew.
Many.
That's so gross.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, I have.
You were? Seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah, early.
Oh.
That was one of
That's
the
a
things.
bummer.
Yeah, but it
That'll
was,
bring you down.
Exactly, like actresses who will never speak to me again and things like that. Wasn't fun, so I stopped doing that
Rude.
quite a while ago.
Are there parts that you've always wanted to play, or type of characters that you've wanted to play that you haven't gotten to play?
Of course.
Of course.
Like what? Like what kind of stuff?
Oh come on, man! There's a lot of parts that I wish I had played.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, in
Stephen, you remember how you told me you wanted to play the Punisher? It's the same sort of thing. Everyone has parts that they,
No, I know. I just mean like, typically have you done a lot of comedy? Have there's been comedy stuff that you've wanted to do or that you would like to do?
I No.
No.
Comedy. I mean, yeah, I did. I mean, what like Steve and I did very dark humor. It was but there were no jokes. And I don't believe in jokes really. And the use of the word comedy is really been abused. In theatrical real terms, a comedy is a story with a happy ending.
Sure.
It's not a string of jokes that don't go anywhere, mean anything, or and that's what happens these days in comedies. So
There's a lot of garbage.
So I don't know. Fortunately, I don't really watch much of it, but I mean, I've been doing some. I guess I did a couple of episodes of Last Man on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
recently. That I guess that's what you would call a comedy.
Yeah, that's kind of a comedy.
I wasn't very funny. I don't know. I don't know whether they.
Are there any roles that
they expected?
Are there any roles that you passed on that you look back and you're like, you know what, I probably should have done that?
Well, there were many roles. There's many roles that I couldn't do because I had cross. Okay. Like
commitments
playing Mickey Rooney's retarded son. I'm very sorry I did not do that movie. I would have loved to have done that movie.
Yeah.
And working, I couldn't do a movie working with Peter O'Toole. Which I just couldn't. I had commitments and I couldn't do it, and that killed me.
Yeah,
things like that. So
that killed me just hearing it.
Yeah.
Charisma. I gotta talk to you about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then on to Angel.
We're talking about Peter O'Toole, and we cut to
no. Hey,
look at her doing two things at once.
I'm a woman.
Only women. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday I was at this toy company, and I was like meeting with all these like toy designer people, and we're all talking. And I said that you were coming in, that you guys were coming in, and we were going to be talking and stuff. And there was about 3 of the employees at this toy company that lost their fucking minds when I said that you were coming in, because they were like, 2 of them have a podcast all about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Shut up.
And they were like, oh my god, what, blah. Like they were losing it. And so I have to ask you a couple questions about that show. Like, how did you come to be on that show? Like, how did that happen for you?
Short version. I was on Malibu Shores, an Aaron Spelling show. It was for NBC at the time. It was clearly not going to happen. The network was on the set regularly in the makeup and hair department. You could just feel the pressure. And we were 8 episodes in. And that starred Kerry Russell and Tony Luca and Essence Atkins, Charisma Carpenter. Can you imagine those 2 people like on the same show? It's crazy. But it was that was what was going on. So my agency had called and said, we have a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We want you to go out for it. And I said, okay. So I did. I read for Buffy, and then they said Gail, being Gail Berman and Joss were in the room, just the 2. And they said, we want to bring you in actually for Cordelia. And I said, okay, so can you go prepare the dialogue right now and then come back and read? And I said, sure. So then I did. And they're like, and then I got a call from my agency, and they said, we'd like you to come back for producers and network. And I said, okay. So I was working on Malibu Shores, and I was working at the time down in Long Beach, and I had to go to Burbank for the audition. And it was starting to rain. And in LA, that's like tricky.
That's a 4-hour drive at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I had a beeper then.
Shit.
Because, it was then. And this is now. And I got the text message from my agency. And my agent calls me and says, it's her number, 911. Mm-hmm. And I'm literally stuck on the 101. But I see Barham in the distance. And that's the street that leads to Burbank. I'm kind of freaking out because it's the election and my friend is giving me updates. But anyway, fuck, who's going to be president? So I get off the interstate and I get off on Barham, and there's a liquor store right there at the off ramp, and I pull over to that payphone right there. I call my agent, and she said, "They're going to leave. Where are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what? What do you mean they're going to leave? I've been in traffic for like 9 hours, and it's raining, and I got another like 10 minutes to go. Tell him to order a fucking pizza because I'm coming." Right? Like, this is like, they have to wait.
Yeah.
They can't like say we're not auditioning anymore. Like, it, and when you're young, it's so funny because like, that's such a bold, I would never, like, now at my age, I'd be like, really? They're going to go? Oh, damn. But then, you're in your 20s and you're like,
It's life and death.
You would
No,
not
it's not.
do it now?
no,
And you would do it then?
there's just something to say.
What?
Boone, there's just something to say about being young and
Look, when
where you feel like you're invincible, like nothing can kill you, and fuck you, and you can wait. And it wasn't literally
Now
like that
you
extreme.
should feel like that.
Well,
You're not alone in those thoughts, and I will work that out in my therapist's office. Thank you. But then, I was bolder, and I was like, tell them to order a pizza or something, because I'm coming. Like, they're not leaving until I get there. So order a pizza, wait. And so I go, and I get the part. And it
Wait,
was amazing.
first you ran in and you got like a bottle of tequila and downed about
No, that
a
was-
quarter of it.
That was now.
That was
Oh, I
That's
saw
how
that.
it works
right
now.
there. Yeah, okay.
Were they eating pizza when you got there?
No.
No.
That would
now.
make
Had
sense.
you seen the movie before this?
Oh wait. So you have to finish the end of the story. So what happened?
She got
I
the
did.
So
part.
you got it.
I got-
You won.
So I
that
read
was
for
the story.
Joss.
You
I
asked her
read-
how she got the part.
Great. All right.
I read for Joss. I read for Garth. And I think partly, too, maybe it's possible that was my response, that's why then I was Cordelia, because that's something Cordelia would
They
do.
had you in for
Yeah.
Buffy, right? Like, that's who they had you in
Yeah,
to
I'm
be,
so
right?
over that drama. Like, oh, you were going to be Buffy. Like, yes.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
and their mother tested. And I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
tested for Buffy. It was, but I did read. Like, all of us were reading. They were trying to, plug the right actor in the right.
Especially
I heard
because
about,
sometimes the dialogue for that for the main character is usually the one that they have figured out that character, so that way they can test
Everything
it
else
on
is
everybody else.
ancillary.
Well, if you hear
I don't know.
about the way Coppola did the Lost Boys, or not the Outsiders.
Great movie.
So he brought in every young actor in Hollywood. I heard Rob Lowe tell this story on Howard Stern a while ago, but he said he brought in every young actor in Hollywood, and they all sat in a circle, and they just handed scripts down the road, and they each read every single part with one another.
Jeez.
And they tested in every variation, and he said he didn't
And Rob Lowe didn't get any
he didn't
of
get in
them.
that movie, but he was there for all that.
You know what's
Tom
so
Cruise was there,
beautiful
and-
about those times then, though, that's different than now? And I don't know if you have this experience because you've only done one television show. But
Oh, the look he's giving right now.
no, I mean, because he's fancy. That's why, I mean, it's a compliment. But, I'm. Anyway, the point is that back in the day, then, your answer was immediate. Like, I knew I had the part. I felt it in the room, number one. Number two, it was consistent. I got the answer the next day. Nowadays, the audition process and the achievement of attaining a role is a lot different. And there's just so many more people voting, and there's so many, you're really put through the ringer.
I recently had somebody ask me to put myself on tape for an audition in New York that they were casting it in New York, and I was like, "Oh, I don't do that. I don't go on tape. I'll go in audition in a room with people, but I don't want to be on tape." And my manager was like, "You have to do that.
Like,
That's
it's
You are
changing.
such a bad boy.
they're like, that's what
a
everyone
rebel.
does."
You are so
Was
bad.
that in
I
line
thought
with
that-
what your character at the time that you were auditioning for would do or say?
No, it's just in my brain as an actor who used to,
Yeah.
submit through
You're used-
Dramalog and
Yeah.
shit,
You're fucking Faye Dunaway right now.
I'm so old.
But back in my day,
Days when you submitted with a
When talkies began, we
Like I feel like that all the time.
I just didn't think that was like a thing that you
It's
had
a
to
thing.
do.
And
We
now
have
you're
to
doing
do it.
animated movies.
And now you fucking have to do it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with animated movies.
No, but when you're telling people you won't be on film, that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know what?
By the way, they have a house in Benedict Canyon.
Yeah.
I know. You know, I had a stupid thing happen where I did this commercial and right, and I did this.
Okay.
I did like some stupid commercial, and then it paid like a lot of money, and
Duh.
right, so great. And so I called my commercial agent. I go, hey, why don't you set me up for stuff all the time? And she goes, well, you told us not to. I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, 2 years ago when you were filming that TV show, you said, you literally called us and said, don't ever send me to Santa Monica ever again. And so
Right.
we never sent you to Santa Monica.
Right.
And I was like, well, fucking send me to Santa Monica. Like,
What an idiot. Don't listen to me ever.
So stupid. I don't know.
Santa Monica's where all the auditions
I
are.
fucking hate Santa Monica. And if I ever met
Oh, what's
a
wrong with
girl-
you? The beach is out there.
but date. Did you ever try to like date someone who lives in
Yes.
Santa Monica?
We're talking about an audition that gives you money.
I know, but it's
Totally
you can go on
different.
dates.
You're
It's a long
mixing.
drive. I know. It just takes forever, and I suck at. I hate
Third
driving.
Street Promenade has free parking
Listen,
all over the
I
place.
mean, this is
shitty.
funny that you're speaking about this because this is the
know.
truth about people that live here.
I know. We're the worst.
We're
I'm the
like
worst person.
the hill. Go over the hill and go over there. I don't go over there. Or I got to go out west. What? Like we have our little bubbles. And that's
Speaking of
it.
that,
When I lived in New York, you just go down to the 42nd Street
All
or
the
go
way
somewhere like that.
down.
You go, and it was fine. You go and you do the audition, and then you go home. But like here, it's like a 4-hour fucking drive, and then you have
Right.
to the whole drive back to think about.
We're
how
improving.
You,
We're
Yeah,
improving. We're getting
I
a subway.
know.
It's happening. It's
I gotta
doing.
be better at things. I'm not as good at this.
If
as
you want
guys.
money, get better at things.
speaking of that, can I say
Boone is like losing his mind right now.
No.
I can't deal with this fodder.
No, I could have. Like I was thinking of the fourth year of that drama that was the thing with the aliens that was at Fox. The two. No,
Star Trek,
no,
Battlestar Galactica.
Is it the one with the people with the patches on their face?
no.
Alien Nation.
No, the redhead and the
X-Files.
Californication X-Files.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, in one of the seasons, which that it was at the Fox lot, and I live on the east side, which is like a 45-minute
Yeah.
drive
Yeah.
if you're lucky. And this was early in the career and out here anyway, and so they wanted to see me for like 11 shows.
Shit.
And of almost in a row. So every week I was going out there on a Wednesday doing the thing, and then they'd go, okay, yeah, that's good. So you'll have to come back tomorrow. What? Yeah, and I did that like 10, 11 times, and it was like 10 times, and the 11th time I'm like, sorry, man, you want me, you're going to have to offer me a show.
At that point, they
I'm
should
not-
know what you do.
Exactly.
At that point. Yeah.
Especially at
And-
the Fox lot, it's so
And
inconvenient.
it's the same people every week.
Every
Right
week,
by my
except
house.
different directors. All the directors always want me, and the I don't know who was cock blocking me, but I never. So then then they never called me back after I said you're gonna have to offer me after doing that. I mean, I devoted already like 30 hours
Of traffic
There you
time.
go.
Hello, you owe me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you
30
get a call?
hours.
Did you get a call for the revival of the X Files?
No,
You're just like, fuck
never.
you, I'm not going.
No, I'm no. So, that's
Fascinating.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
love those. Love
Man.
those.
And especially because you park and then they go, you have to walk 2 miles.
Oh, be a
It's like,
woman with some pumps on, okay? Shut up.
I've seen women
Just
do
shut
it.
up.
I know I'm the worst. I'm sorry.
Just shut up with your
I'm the-
complaining.
I know.
Have
Where
you
did-
seen?
You
look
don't
at
have
Steven.
to wear pumps across the
Just be
parking
quiet.
lot.
Go with it.
That's
Charisma.
like
Go with
what
it.
you that's a choice.
Look at Steven. Does
No,
he
but
look
you're
like he
a
walks
woman,
anywhere?
and you have to listen to me. You have
You
to
might
wear
run
makeup
into the
that
vice president, right? in
Okay,
the parking
why you
lot.
gotta get sexist? Okay, stop it. I'm just saying, as a woman,
Who's getting sexist around here?
well, I mean, you're talking about dancing and stuff. Well, what I'm trying to say is, it's hard when you're a woman and you have fucking 10 pounds of makeup on your face and you have like a teeny tiny skirt. You're walking around like a geisha girl and you got pumps, but you can put on your flip flops.
Geisha girls do not wear short skirts.
Work with me, Boone.
I'm so
You know,
with you,
this
man.
is why we're such a great couple in street level.
Yeah,
Because we're so on the same page
which is
with
available.
everything.
When can people see that movie?
now.
right
now.
Is it
now.
Everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm doing
You can
David-
download it on
David the Bravo now.
iTunes, correct?
It's everywhere. It's
Let's-
on every station in the whole world. In fact, iTunes, yes, on demand everywhere.
No,
Amazon on demand.
It is.
Is it on demand right now?
let's play true or
People go get
false.
it? Yes.
True or false?
You ask, and somebody else answer if it's true or false.
Okay, deal.
David the
Hulu.
Bravo wanted to be here, but he's sick. He's sick. He came down sick last night.
Oh,
So he's not here. He thought
So-
you didn't want him here anyway.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Charisma, you've done a bunch of the Expendables films.
A bunch.
You've
I've done 2
you've
of
done
the
2.
3.
Yeah,
That's
what's
the majority of the
To Steven,
of the
that's a
movies.
bunch.
That's a bunch.
Well, there'll be more.
That's more
Yeah.
than that's more.
Then
than,
there was a movie coming out supposedly, and I don't know what happened to it, but Expendables,
Oh, that
I
sounds
heard
awesome.
about that.
right?
Yeah, I think I,
I
heard
sh-
about that.
I should have been the
in that.
Charlie of
Yeah.
the Charlie's Angels, but I should have been Charlie of the Expendables, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because-
Absolutely.
Charisma.
Yeah.
What's a set like? Being
Frustrating.
What is that set like? Holy fucking shit!
What were you going to say, Boone?
No, they all answered in total unison. Everything you said, they all went
like,
Yeah,
I totally want to see that.
course.
It's a good
Yeah.
idea.
I watch that.
It is.
What a
You
fucking
don't ever see
cute.
Charlie.
just a
Yeah.
like that lineup though of actors to be on a
So
set
fun.
fun. It was a good time.
It was a great time. In fact,
Yeah.
I just bumped into Randy Couture at the Grove
Oh my God.
a few nights ago. And it's always such a pleasure to run into him. The nicest person, a total beast in the ring, right? Back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Or not even so. He's not doing that now. He's moved on to bigger and better things like Expendables and other feature films. But he's so sweet. And Terry Crews, so sweet. And all of them were lovely.
Chuck Norris?
I never got to meet him because he was in the third one.
Okay.
Do your homework.
which you weren't in the third
Correct.
one.
I was
I'm
in
sorry.
2 of the 3, but not 3 of the 3.
Great job, guys.
I'm just
You
kidding. I'm
ruined
just
Matt's
kidding.
podcast.
I'm just
Fired
kidding.
Matt just for that.
I'm just- no big deal. No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, sure.
But it was great, and Jason Statham was fun, and Stallone might very well be the best storyteller I've ever been around in real life. Yeah,
and he's
he
a
tells
great
it-
mime. He's an amazing mime.
No
Is he
way.
really?
Are you serious?
I'm-
You're not
Wow.
fucking amazing.
That was incredible. That
He's-
was you miming saying
He's like
No, really.
he could
amazing.
barely even say the words "fucking amazing" was what Boone just said about his mime skills. I
He
suspect.
really looks like he's getting blown over by the wind and that he's trapped in the box. It's incredible.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
those are like mime things.
Those are the classic mime things.
Stuck in the box.
No,
Right.
no.
I didn't go to mime school. Pardon.
What did I say?
Yeah, gotcha,
Mime?
gotcha.
No,
Mime.
no. He can do imitate.
Oh,
mimicry.
Mimic.
Mimicry. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
That is
Cleared that
totally
up.
different thing.
Entire other
Like, what are you talking
That's a lot
about?
of character. That'd be amazing, though, right?
Excuse me.
That had blown my mind. I was not ready for the idea of Sylvester Stallone.
But honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Climb that wall.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
No, he's a mimic. He
I'm
can
glad-
mimic any.
Okay.
He does all sorts of
That
improv.
makes
Yeah.
much more sense.
He's a great storyteller. He's lived a really, really interesting life for sure.
Well, he's written most of the movies he's done.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Boone?
No, I did. Well, I did a movie with him too.
Yeah.
where he Get Carter.
Get Carter. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he
So
chased
good.
me down. I don't know, down old Vegas,
Fremont Street?
Fremont Street, and when we started doing it, I mean, ran the whole Fremont Street, and yeah, for real.
It's a lot.
And
When was
we
that?
started doing this was a long time ago. Girl, I was a
Mean.
very, very high level athlete when I was,
That's a lot of cardio when
and
you're
I
not used to it.
still can, That is
She's having a
hilarious.
really good time with this.
It's just funny to hear you'd be defensive about it. funny. Oh my god.
Anyway, he ran and we did do that. When we started it, there was no one, watching. Very quickly, a crowd of 3,000 people formed.
Oh, man.
And we would do it and everybody would, yeah! And then,
Was it a good thing?
And he would, and he would go like,
Rocky.
and he'd say to me, it's 30 years, man. I've been doing this 30 years. I'm a movie star. Did you know?
No idea.
Okay. There was this 90-year-old woman who came out of the crowd and she almost had a heart attack when he kissed her.
He kissed her.
Oh yeah, no. She came out and with her her granddaughters were holding her, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
And
almost,
he gave her CPR.
He literally
Kissed her, gave her CPR, saved her life.
I don't know if he did that.
Can you tell us a little bit, Boone, about working with Batman? Can we talk just a little bit about that? Because
Batman's not real, Stephen.
no,
Yeah,
well,
you didn't
Which
work
Batman?
with Batman.
I know
You're talking about working with Batman or with Chris
with
Christian
Nolan.
Bale.
I want to know about
Christopher Nolan. and
Christian Bale. He's a pretty
Something
serious
Mexican.
cat. Comes to work, ready to work, and then that's pretty much it. He was there with his wife. I didn't really socialize with.
There was no
Chris.
yelling.
How
on
about
set
Gary
about-
Oldman?
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a good mime at least? Or
He was fun because he was in his own country, so he made most of that in England, not all of it, but and so he seemed to be having fun with his peeps.
Oh, that's good.
That's what I noticed about Gary.
Yeah.
That.
Well, what about Chris Nolan?
Chris works so hard. I mean, he had to there was like a revolution on making that movie. The crew was sick of, in England, I think they weren't paying them very well, and they actually revolted. And so Chris kind of had to carry that on his back.
Wow.
He showed
it
them.
was pretty hard.
It fucking paid off.
That was
those
really
movies
hard.
changed. Those movies changed the way that people look at superheroes now. I mean, everybody now is trying to kind of catch up.
It's interesting
all the
that you
other
say that
studios are trying
because
to
it's
catch
less
up a little bit.
cartoony. It's less a character.
Yeah.
It really does kind of brings the drama.
Yeah. I mean,
even
we had
though it's
Tobey
like-
Maguire Spider-Man right before that. that, just to give you an idea, and that stuff's gone.
I thought he was good though.
Isn't
He was
that-
fine. He was
Isn't
fine,
that the
but-
way
Kirsten
Batman
Dunst
was
and
written
him, that
also?
kiss.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
written
agree.
different.
And it's like most comic book movies, they're dragging you into the comic book world, whereas that one, it seemed like it was
It was
dragging
the opposite,
Batman into the
into
real world.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
feel you.
Yeah. Completely.
100%.
Yeah. And, Warner Brothers, I feel like, has done a pretty solid job of kind of continuing to try to do that. But holy crap. That definitely Christopher Nolan definitely set a bar when it comes to the way that, movies like that can get made. It was pretty cool.
Seems like that's the only kind of movies getting made.
Yeah.
So it's a franchise possibility. It's
Right.
Yeah.
What's already been done and regurgitated over and over again.
Again. and
Not
again.
much originality, but it's
No.
great for those that love the comics. That's great.
Sure.
I'm a little bitter that I'm not Wonder Woman, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
should
you should-
be. You should be.
Israeli is playing an American icon. Well, she's technically not American.
I'm
but
very angry I'm not Captain America.
she's from some weird island.
I would be angry as well.
Yeah.
She's what?
She's from a weird island.
Yeah.
It is weird
A
that they
weird
passed up.
island?
Well, it's an
The
island with no
is
men where they
weird?
kill every man that shows up on
Really?
the island, right? Isn't that the deal?
What island
Something
is
like that, Mike?
Something like that.
You can explain a little more. I don't know that.
What?
I-
You mean Wonder Woman?
There's no win.
Yeah.
There's no
not
man
the
on the
woman
island.
that.
playing Wonder
Right.
Woman.
No,
Oh.
she,
I thought that was
don't
an island
think
she
she
never
kills
heard
people
of.
on her island.
No, the character.
Yeah, Joss Whedon had written a tremendous script, and they
He didn't.
passed on it.
Well, he wanted to do Wonder Girl. When I saw him at the, it's funny because anyway, yeah, it wasn't going to be a Wonder Woman movie per se.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Joel Silver was at the time kind of running things. And there was, I'd just come off of Veronica Mars, and there was just like some like tie-ins there that were happening via media, which like is sweet and everything when it goes in your favor, but not sweet when it doesn't. Right. And then it didn't happen because I think they had a different vision.
Yeah.
But Joss's idea was for it to be like a franchise, and it would start with Wonder Girl.
Yeah.
And then on
Become
to
Wonder Woman.
have her grow up into it.
Right.
Kind of like their Batman
which
Begins
to me,
in a way.
Yeah, to me, kind of, Joss is a very bright man, to say the least. So, you can milk that for 100 years if you start with Wonder Girl, right?
But I
don't know what the problems were.
It was their loss because then Marvel snapped him up for the Avengers.
Yeah. Joss Whedon's great. Did you ever work with Joss? No.
Mm-mm.
Have you ever met him?
No.
Do you care to?
Sure.
Why
not?
Hey.
Josh, have me in. We'll talk about
Joss
stuff.
Yeah. Is there do you have a favorite director that you've worked with? Can you even say that? Is that
a favorite director?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Chris was great. Steve Buscemi, who, did Trees Lounge and a couple other movies I've done. I mean, we were old partners, so that was fun. That was always
that must have been nice.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Why don't you direct? Have you thought about it?
That's a good question. Yeah. Yep. No, I've written, I have a lot of stuff. I just get distracted somehow. I should be doing that, and I hope to be doing that.
What do you guys do on your time off when you're not acting and you're not working? Like, what do you do to keep yourselves busy or happy outside of the business? Do you have things that you do outside?
Yeah.
Charisma
well, I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I do a lot of that, or I do conventions, and I work out a lot, and that keeps me sane. And
I work out a lot. Just for your information.
Running up and down Fremont Street with Sly. Then, I mean, what else do I do? I think I'm trying to figure that out as we speak. I'm thinking about a shift, a change, in another direction. I have the hiccups because I just took a sip of beer.
It's a bad time to tell you, but hold your breath for 30 seconds. And
it doesn't work. But I stay creative, by reading and watching really good films. Moonlight just came out. I go to a lot of features. I watch an insane amount of television.
What are you watching now that you like?
Night of. I love Shameless. I still watch that.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
You really do have hiccups.
I do. Would you ask?
Have you watched Black Mirror?
No.
It's on Netflix.
You got to check it out.
Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard about
I'm onto it.
It's crazy. It's kind of like a modern version of the Twilight Zone. So each episode is standalone, but they're really well.
I don't like standalone. I don't know.
Bryce Dallas Howard is fantastic.
Bryce Dallas Howard does like an hour episode at the beginning of season 3, and it's
Stranger Things. I'm into that.
Yeah.
That's a great. Great little show.
What about you, Mark?
He writes a lot.
Don't punch me in the
I don't
face.
know. I've been playing.
Please don't punch me in the face.
I mean, I really, actually, since the Sons of Anarchy, I've been pretty busy. So I really haven't had a whole lot of time. I mean, I'm a father also.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're a mother. I'm a father. And oh wow, that's unbelievable.
I didn't know that. Like, how old is your child?
33 and 21.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I play a lot of music. I guess I'm trying to get that together. Directing, would like to do that. I just try to get a show together. I just did a thing called Patriot for Amazon, which is awesome. Amazon works. They put all their pilots
Yeah,
together.
then make
Yeah.
people come
out in December. That came out in December. So we did the rest of it and just finished that. 10 episodes of that should be out in February. I play a folk singer.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'd like to see that.
But that's look at the
I'll check it
pilot.
out.
The pilot is unbelievable. Stephen Conrad, the guy who wrote The Lives of Walter Mitty.
Oh,
Secret Lives of Walter Mitty. Yeah.
The what is it called? The
Secret Lives of Walter Mitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrote that the later version, the latest version,
That's the Ben Stiller one.
the Ben Stiller one.
Yeah.
And you sing in that?
I sing some, yeah.
Very cool.
But
Do you play
it's
the guitar?
great.
Do you play an instrument?
Yes, I play the guitar. I'm not really great at singing and playing. I think that's a real art
Sure.
that I don't. I mean, I just I can kind of sing, I guess, and I can maybe play the guitar a little bit, but together
Not at the same time.
I do it in the show.
What do you do between scenes?
Between
when you were on
scenes?
Sons of Anarchy, for instance, and you had a lot of downtime and you're waiting for your
We didn't
seemed to
really
come up-
have a lot of downtime on that. We would shoot an episode in 7 days, and often the episodes ended up an hour and a half long. So if you think about that, there's no downtime.
That's a crazy schedule. Yeah.
We moved.
Yeah, but were you
really-
in every scene on a scheduled day? Like, I mean, as an actor, you know that they pay you to wait.
past the first couple of seasons? Yes, they didn't wait around that much.
Work with me. What did you do, and how did you pass your time?
Talk up to
I
whatever. Just goof around. I mean,
Kristen wants to know what you do in your trailer.
Besides the obvious, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Read
sure
a book. Did you play guitar? Would you just pass the time? I just envision you with candles lit
Sometimes, yeah.
and an acoustic
no
guitar.
way.
Yeah,
Sitting on a staircase, looking at the moon. No, I know that's him.
I've been
It's
on a
in there.
set. I've been on a set that's kind of similar to I'm sure it wasn't anything as cool as Sons of Anarchy, but being on a set with a bunch of other guys and you're just kind of
It's a
hanging
sausage
out, and you're,
fest.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
hanging out outside
Shut
at
up.
night.
So
and
you're
you're just telling
peacocking.
stories and screwing around and
I
kinda
was with
trying to
these
make
guys
each
for
other laugh.
7 years. There were no stories left. After,
You're making news stories.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, guys,
Bobby.
I really love you guys for coming in and
Oh God!
hanging out with us and talking to us about it. This is especially on a night like tonight where everybody in the world is
fucking apocalypse.
It's like the apocalypse out
Who
there.
has won the election? I'm dying to know.
Do you ever worry, Chris, when you get hiccups that like you see those things in the Guinness book about like somebody who had hiccups for like 20
No.
years and you ever worried like that's going to happen?
No, but that's
I've always
funny.
worried.
Thank
Every
you
time
for
I get
adding to my
hiccups.
anxiety. I appreciate that.
I'm here to make you feel better. That's
Aw, you're the best.
Yeah,
It
it's
really is.
Who won?
Crazy.
Do we know who?
No,
who-
we're not.
It's
gonna-
real
It's-
close.
It's bad.
It's-
Are we done? Are we?
Yeah,
we're done.
We're wrapped up. But
Right.
hey,
Could you turn
is
us
there,
off, please,
Well,
Ryan?
is there a way? Where can they? Are you either you guys on Twitter or on Instagram, places like that they can find you or look you up?
Yes. You want to go ahead or me?
You're talking.
So on.
Damn.
Yes, I am. And I like the sound of it when I do my radio voice. On Twitter, you can find me at All Charisma.
Yeah, girl.
Oh, goodness.
All of charisma.
No, just All Charisma.
All charisma.
As
I
in
just
it's
followed you.
just me. And then on Instagram, I'm at Charisma, which is a funny nickname. Charisma, Karazma. It's a David Lee Roth reference, if you know what I'm talking about, because I'm old. That's what we do.
Not. Boone, what about you? Where can people?
I
find
don't
you?
know. Mark Boone Jr. at Twitter. I don't. I mean, I'm
He has an account.
peripherally involved.
You got time now and then, but
I don't know. I mean, I just I kind of splatter stuff around a little bit.
Splatter. What does that mean? I splatter. Are you a serial killer?
It's like the funniest
CSI episode.
It's brilliant.
I splatter on Twitter.
Mike Black, where can people find you on the internet?
I splatter all over the internet. I'm at
you
Mike
do.
Black Attack on all social media.
What about you, Matt?
You can find links to everything at funnymatt.com, or if you were annoyed by me, let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't like you.
Yeah.
2 accounts. That's smart.
Very nice.
Hate in one direction.
yes.
Love. I'm having a
them all.
bad day. I can only look at this account.
Yes, 100%. You can always get me at Stephen Glickman, STPHEN, Glickman on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Guys, it is Boone and Charisma. Seriously, such an honor to have you guys in here. And
Thanks. We didn't talk
be able
enough
to-
about street level, though. Honestly, he was so hot to kiss.
I'm sure. And
When did we kiss? I don't even remember.
I kissed you on the couch. Remember?
We did?
Excuse me. Yes.
Boone, such a player? Just
Rude.
making it happen.
So fucking rude.
Get your ass out there.
I
Check
got
out this
cut,
movie.
I think. I don't remember seeing it.
It's gonna be. I can't wait.
We'll
I
have
can't
to
wait to check it out.
practice.
Yeah, go
It's
practice.
going to
in
be
the
a
car.
TV show, supposedly.
Ooh.
Let's hope.
That's what.
I want to work.
That's what.
I want to work with
Charisma
Baldy.
wants it to be
That
a
sounds
TV
great.
show.
I want to shoot a gun. I always play the
You
damsel
did
in
play
distress.
you shot the gun
I'm over it.
Yeah, shoot the gun already.
out the window, hanging out the window. To strap that ass in.
Well, guys, this has been the Nighttime Show. We love you. Don't forget to subscribe and
Come
leave
check out
comments.
our next live nighttime show.
Thank you.
November
26th at the Hollywood Improv.
10 p.m.
Thanks for checking it out. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.